Hello again. It has been an evening of dead batteries and running around a bit chaotic, but I have finally made it around to one of my favorite readings that I do, which is for our lovely twin flames out there, and in particular for the ones that are in separation and do not have communication or any contact with each other. I know a lot of us may be blocked still from previous fallouts, situations. I know. Speaking for myself. But let's just see what the energies are for this week. It's 30th of April through to the 6th of May. Let's see if there's been any interesting shifts and what the lovely Archangel Michael has to tell us about that. Just 1 moment. Okay. Just making sure Archangel Michael is in the house. Okay, let's see what the pendulum has to say about these cards. Archangel Michael. Are the top 10 cards here for the Twin Flame Celtic Cross for twins in separation. There we go. Let's do this. So, Heart of the Matter, the Knight of Cups, waiting on the return of the love of our lives. And on his return, his or her return, we are hoping for that offer of their cup of love. And I don't know if you notice in this card, it's like the road that has been traveled, that long green squiggle. It's quite a long journey this person has gone through. Yeah. I know for those of us who are the ones sort of, I guess, out in the cold, being disconnected, haven't had any contact with them, but we've been doing lots of spiritual evolution, we've been doing our inner work, healing, all of that. I think sometimes we lack the appreciation of how much of a massively long journey they have had to achieve in a very short period of time. Most of the people in my kind of position, have had about a year of no communication, digging deep, clearing out the baggage, clearing out the hurt, the healing the inner child, healing the past life stuff, having flashbacks of past life that just absolutely rock your world and blow your mind. Challenges or obstacles is the lovers. So in this context, it will be union or communication at least. Some form of contact would be our challenge. Then in our foundation, we have the King of Cups. Beautifully done, beautifully done. Then recent past. Incoming communication. So maybe some of us have had some communication. Maybe it's been a bit awkward, a little uneasy, a little sort of, they don't know what they want from us, but they want to touch base with us and just sort of see we're doing okay, how we're doing. Crowning the reading is the Devil. I would really like this to be in reverse. So what this is this is telling me, because it's in the hopes, dreams, and best possible outcome position, it's like releasing yourself from codependency and wanting somebody in your life because it's going to achieve something or give you something that you can't give yourself. Part of this twin flame journey is to be complete and whole on your own without your twin there. Being so complete and content and full of self-love and respect and, appreciation for your own journey and evolution that you don't need another person to validate you, and you don't need another person to make you sort of go, oh yes, I've achieved something, I've actually progressed to a certain distance, I've evolved, whatever. You should be able to give yourself that recognition. So interesting. I wasn't really expecting those last two cards there. Next steps, immediate future. The word that just popped into my head was reunion. But that's a celebration of some description. And this is a twin flame spread for twins in separation or no communication. Okay, I'm getting a bit tingly in the solar plexus and very excited right now. But how we're approaching the situation is the Five of Cups. We're still mourning the loss of our twin or whatever, the connection that we had. And we're not seeing the connections and the beauty and love that we do have in our life. Our team, divine team, spiritual team, whatever you want to call it, they're constantly around us. They're constantly supporting us and giving us love and trying to keep us in a high vibration so that we can achieve what we need to achieve and get back into union so that we can literally transform the ascension process for humanity. It's not an easy task, what we're meant to be doing and what we're setting out, what we were born to achieve. But it can be done and it will be done. And you know this as well as I know this. It's like there's something in your heart and your soul that almost screams it to you that you know they will be back. You know that you will have harmony with them. And you know that things will work out okay. It's very weird. And I find it really amusing that I'm doing this on the night of the full moon and I've got the moon card in our environment. So the moon card's usually about secrets, things that are unseen in the darkness of the night. But you can see the sun peeking out from behind it. So it's only a matter of time before all the facts, all the things that need to be seen, accepted, acknowledged, processed, do come to the surface and do become part of our knowledge. We just have to have extreme faith in divine timing and the fact that everything will work out in our highest interest in the end. And sometimes I used to think, man, this is some sort of a sick joke. The universe, God, source is taking me for a ride. This is just crazy. It's got to be some sort of trend, phase, whatever. But I kind of realize that sometimes not having communication, not having contact with your twin is a blessing in disguise because they could be going through some really rough stuff and learning some very hard lessons in life. And if we were there and we had contact with them, we would automatically be compelled to, be the savior, the emotional shoulder to cry on, or like the one that saves the day, the one that's always there to pep them up and make them feel better. You know what? When they decide to walk out from our lives, for a lot of us, it was like we died ourselves. It was like losing a part of you that you didn't actually even know existed and that you had or you valued so, so much. And you have this meeting and this whirlwind, out of this world connection that you're just like, how is it that you are speaking the words of my own soul? And the reason is they share your soul. So of course they're going to speak the things that come from your own soul. It's beyond beautiful. Yeah, like we are very blessed to be on this journey and to be doing what we're doing. But at the same time, it is not for the faint of heart. And it is not an easy journey. It tests you in every possible way. And it shows you that you had no idea how strong you are. And you have no idea how strong you can be given the right kind of circumstances. Yeah, torrential rain, lightning, everything. And we're still cruising along. Raindrops aren't even freaking hitting us because we've done the inner work. We've evolved. We've gotten attuned with this ascension energies and the cosmic energies and all the solar flares, all of that that's coming down. It just makes my heart sort of expand a lot when I think of it that way. And really, it is about perspective. But moving on, in our hopes and fears, we've got the Two of Swords. Once again, the moon in the background. I really feel like this reading is very much tying in the things that this full moon is bringing into our lives, or sort of bringing to the surface for us to acknowledge, accept, process, learn the lessons, file it where it needs to go, so that as we progress on the journey, it's kind of like a reference point that we can come back to and just go, hey, you know what? I survived this. And 2 years ago, I thought I would die at number 1. I thought my heart and soul would shatter and I'd be, taking out of this universe if these things happened. But they've all happened and I have survived it and I'm still standing. I'm still capable of infinite love, respect, and nurturing for the world around me and the people around me. It's almost it's a journey that makes you realize that you are borderline invincible on an energetic and emotional level. What you think would break you and leave you, as a hopeless mess, it doesn't do that, because we're so resilient and we're so strong in our conviction and our commitment to knowing that there is a very deep and infinite love behind this connection, that we don't let this stuff derail us the way some things could. Okay, final outcome. Interesting card. 5 of Swords. This guy is basically running around collecting all the swords after the battle, when all the damaged and wounded people have been taken off the field and left their little trophy swords behind. He's collecting all the swords. So it's almost as if we have such staying power that some of these energetic shifts and things like that have happened have really destabilized a lot of people. They've left them in a very unpleasant state of affairs. But we're rising above it, and we're kind of just going, you know what? I'm cruising along in this energy. I can actually handle it. I take it in my stride. I take a deep breath, and I keep going. So guess what? I'm going to get all the trophies off this field, because they're all mine. All you non-stayers out there, you guys don't have anything on me. That's generally what I'm getting from that. But nice one. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. Okay. And we all know Knight of Wands flies in very, very quickly. It can also represent a one-night stand. I know the connection that we have with our twins, especially when you haven't seen them for a very long time. Some of the telepathy messages that I get are very, very cheeky and very insinuating. And it's like, dude, it's not just about sex. Okay, it was fantastic. I'll give you that. But it's not just about that. And it's funny how, divine feminine and divine masculine handle things so differently. Divine feminines realize that there's such a deep bond of love and attachment there, whereas divine masculines don't. They sort of simplify everything, that, we had really, really good sex, so that must have been fun, so let's stick with that. But they don't realize that taking that approach and just being really shallow and just being all about the physical actually shows how much damage they have. And it's funny that I looked underneath the Knight of Wands who got 3 of Swords. That's like, yeah, he wants to fly in like the Knight of Wands really, really quickly and be all passionate and fiery and have a wonderful night or whatever, few days, whatever you want to call it. But he's still hiding the hurts that he hasn't processed. He's still dealing with that. Sorry to say he, but I know there's divine masculines that are male or female, but it's kind of like he's feeling like the Knight of Wands. He's being oblivious or not accepting the fact that he's still got hurt to heal. But if he does, he could be embodying the Queen of Pentacles energy. And Queen of Pentacles, Queen or King, beautiful energy. They're loving, mature, nurturing, earthly people. They know how to make their coin. They know how to handle people's emotions. They know how to handle their own emotions. They are very, very balanced and very steady and very solid. Much like the Taurian that I am. I'm kidding. That's just being a little bit of a brat. Then we've got the 4 of Pentacles. So Personally, my twin was very money and materialistic world orientated. So having the Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck after the the Queen of Pentacles actually makes a bit of sense, because it's sort of like there's some habits or ways of thinking or ways of approaching things that sometimes are just really hard to shake. You know, when you've spent all your life putting so much importance on money and material things, to shift that into a more spiritual perspective where it's kind of like, as long as I've got all my needs met, I don't need to have opulent things. I don't need to live in a mansion. I don't need to live by the water. All of that stuff. I can travel to the water if I want to. It doesn't matter where I live. Yeah, it's sort of like taking a step back, being a bit more humble and appreciating everything in its own place. So I don't usually go to the bottom of the deck and check out multiple cards at the bottom of the deck, but I'm glad I did, because we've also got the Page of Wands there, and then a 10 of Wands, but that is followed by the King of Wands. So Divine Masculines are doing some inner work on face value, or what they're portraying to us energetically, or on social media, wherever, however you might be able to get some sort of a sense of what's going on in their lives. They might be sort of playing aloof and sort of like, oh yes, I'm good. I'm just, I'm being a big playboy and I'm going out with this person this weekend, that person that weekend. So I'm just, everybody wants me. I was like, darling, everybody wants you, but not everybody wants to invest in you. And not everybody wants to commit to you and build a freaking empire like your twin does. And this is the thing, is that sometimes we get a bit frustrated. I don't see the changes or the progress that we want to see in the journey. And it is frustrating. Like, a lot of us have been doing this. Like me, it's just been over like a little bit over a year. But I know twins that have been on this journey for like 7 years and more. And I just like, yeah, I have so much respect for them. It's just like, how? Okay, I get frustrated. I'm kind of like, you know what? I can do better. I'll go find somebody else. I don't really care. You know what? I'm not that awful. People appreciate my external attributes, all of the rest. So I'm sure I could find somebody. And funnily enough, an old soulmate has sort of been hovering in the wings, and we've sort of been communicating, and it's really comfortable communication like it used to be in the old days. And it's like, God, we got along really well. And it was very, very comfortable. But nothing like what it was with my twin. Yeah. Also, when people like this come back into your life, you kind of get this sense of, dude, you got so much work to do. Your life is a mess. You really need to get your stuff sorted. And don't go dumping your stuff on me, because I have evolved. I've grown. I've healed so much that I don't have time for people with unlimited amounts of baggage that live in denial and refuse to see that there might be stuff that needs to be addressed and healed. And yeah, it's very odd that the timing of all of this is the way it is. I'm sorry, I'm just looking out my back window and I just see 5 kangaroos hopping. This is a newly established residential division, and I do believe that this area has destroyed the habitat of a few native animals. I've never seen kangaroos in suburbia. That's just blowing my mind, and it's very dark out there, so I won't turn the camera around, but oh my God. Welcome to Sydney, people. Come visit me. You can check out some kangaroos in the middle of the night. I don't know where that came from. All right. I am going to get a few clarifiers, because I really don't like the fact that we've got the Devil as a best possible outcome. And in the recent past, we've got the 8 of Wands. Personally, I haven't had any communication with my twin. I've sent a few little feeler messages, but I haven't had any replies from him, which is fair enough. I send my messages without having any expectation for him to reply. I miss him like mad. Like, I would absolutely fall over if he was to contact me. But I'd also be very playing it cool and be like, oh, yeah, so how's life? You good? That's good. I know you can look after yourself. I look after myself too now. But inside, I'd just be like, fucking kiss me already. Yeah, it's one of those moments like, you're all cool, calm, and collected on the outside, but it's just like, come here now. You get that sort of, that urgency about it. All right, so Archangel Michael, can I please have clarifier for the 8 of Wands? I seriously feel like some people have had communication with their twins recently. If they haven't already had it, it is coming within the next week. Let's just check if this is the right card, because this is going to be interesting if this is the right clarifier. Okay, Archangel Michael, is this card the clarifier for the 8 of Wands? Awesome. All right. I'll just pull the rest of the clarifiers, and then I'll actually go through it instead of just rambling about whatever is coming at the moment. Something's telling me to pull that one, but let me just double check. Okay. Archangel Michael. Is this the clarifier for the devil? I didn't think so. Can you please send it out of the deck? Okay, so to sum up again, the heart of the matter, or what we're hoping for, what we're trying not to focus too much on, but we can't help but go back to, is the Knight of Cups, the return of the twin, the offering of love, or a reconnection even. And like I keep on telling myself, when he makes contact, we're going to be friends to start with, and we're going to take it very, very slowly, and we're going to get to know each other from a clean slate, back to basics. It's like baby steps, you know what I mean? Like, we know how energetically intense everything was when we first met, and how it made them very awkward and want to distance themselves from us and not knowing how to handle things. It's kind of like dealing with a newborn baby that doesn't even know what their own emotions are. We need to be gentle with them when they do come back. And like, I was speaking to a twin a day or two ago, and it's like, oh, my twin made contact, but he doesn't want to talk about his feelings or love, and he doesn't want to be with me. I don't know if he just contacted me for sex or what. And I was like, honey, you gotta realize, feminine energy, masculine energy, very, very different. Where everything in our makeup makes us very, very different. We're like the most complementary opposites to each other. So when we come together, we fit perfectly and we complement each other in the perfect balance. But as two separate entities, we kind of find it hard to find the balance within ourselves sometimes, to be able to sort of open our hearts and our minds to the energetic intensity and the rushes that happen, like, just having my twin sort of stand like this far away from me. I would become weak in the knees when I first met him. And it was just like, how is a human being having this impact on me? Nobody has ever affected me like that. Just standing there, not saying anything, not doing anything, standing in silence, and my knees would be weak, and I'd just be like, this is crazy. But even then, I was able to embrace the emotional side and run with it and just dive in head first. Like, I was the first one that told him that I loved him. He was very much in denial. He actually laughed at me when I told him I loved him, which was a big insult. But knowing what I know now, it is what it is. And I'm glad it happened in a sense, because it kind of hurt me and made me examine a side of myself that needed healing, and a side of myself that needed me to love myself more, so that when another person tells me that they don't love me, or they think it's funny that I may love them, it doesn't bother me anymore. Like, I don't care whether I have an emotional foundation or like special place in other people's hearts, because I think I'm awesome. I love myself. I'll do whatever I need to do for myself, and I know I'm worth it. And I know that one day, when I'm very solid in my self-love and my self-respect, that's going to energetically compel him to sort of get kind of curious and be like, you were so damaged when I met you. I actually, it's an interesting little admission, but at one stage with my twin, I remember being in a fetal position and crying and begging him not to leave me, because it was kind of like, so much love and so much connection and just this amazing, beautiful energy you have between each other. And then this person's about to walk out the door. I've never done that before. I'll never do that again. I'll never lose it that bad and beg somebody to stay with me. Like, that was truly the damaged me. Like, I had a lot of work to do back then, and I've done a lot of it. So I know I won't be doing that. But the fact that I felt comfortable enough to literally just bare my soul and to cry the way I did in front of him that night, that was pretty intense. And like, I had a flashback of that the other day, and I was just like, wow, I've come a long way. Because there's no way I would react that way with anybody again. Because him leaving my life has given me so many gifts and so many positive attributes and made me grow so much and learn how to love myself, learn how to count on myself and back myself and know that my own guidance and my own inner feeling and my own sort of inner propeller that's leading me wherever it is doing it for my own best interest, and it is following my life plan and my soul mission, which was decided a long time ago. So I'm a happy woman. Anyway, sorry, I do talk a lot. Let's run away. Okay, I do need to check these cards. I can get my call. Here's the top card here, the clarifier for the devil. All right, very good. Hello again. Oh, nice. Okay, this is getting a bit more interesting, and I will actually start talking about it in 2 seconds. Here's the top card, the clarifier for the Three of Cups. Excellent. Thank you. Oh, okay, we have some beautiful cards. Just bear me for a sec. Here's the top card, the clarifier for the Five of Cups. Okay, so we had a few cards. So just to give you the summary, we've got the Knight of Cups as the heart of the matter. Then we've got the Lovers as the challenges or obstacles. So quite clear there. We're waiting on our offer of love and the return of our life, the love of our life to our life. Then we want our union. We want our, blissful, happily ever after, balanced energies of the male and the female, all of that coexisting. And then in our worries and desires, we've got the King of Cups. So once again, wanting our twin to embody the King of Cups energy more so than the Knight of Cups energy, and it's like a graduation into a more mature level. Then in the recent past, we have Eight of Wands, which is all about communication. It's incoming, could be online, email, text, social media. It's actually occurring to me that there might be a bit of spying on social media rather than communication. So they're kind of keeping tabs on what's going on in our lives from a distance on social media, just to see if there's any prospective partners that might be in the mix, that might be sort of bringing things into our physical existences, which they're not doing. They're not stepping up, they're not making contact. And I think it's almost like a paranoia thing. It's like, how long is this person gonna be left sitting on the shelf and stay single and sort of committed to the idea of us actually being together? Like, I've even thought about it. I'm pretty sure my twin has thought about it. But guess what? When you have a connection with that deep, would you blow it for just some random thing? Like, nothing less than a soulmate, Like, soulmates you have some amazing connections with, so I understand how you might allow a soulmate into your life. Because you miss having some sort of a connection or some sort of like a familiarity and someone you can confide in, someone you can pour your heart out to, things like that. I understand that, and I almost fell for that for a bit. But then I realized exactly how much work this soulmate of mine has not done and refuses to do, and not very spiritual at all. So it was kind of like, yeah, maybe you were an interesting thought to sort of keep me distracted or a little bit sort of entertained when life gets very dull and boring without having, you know, a prospective person of the opposite sex in my life. But still doesn't cut it. It really doesn't cut it. Archangel Michael is the top card to clarify for the Five of Cups. Okay. And the following three cards clarifies for environment, hopes and fears. Okay, thank you. Excellent. Okay, getting there. Sorry, I do talk a lot. And I do believe it's this full moon that's making me it's like, I'm very philosophical. I'm very reminiscing about what has come and what is to come. All right, let's do this. So, Knight of Cups. We're waiting for that long, long, long road journey to end at our doorstep so they can knock and offer us the love that we know that is ours, that will be ours when they do return to us. But we need to accept and realize the fact that they've got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of healing to do. A lot of us have been doing intensive healing and inner work, inner child healing, past life trauma healing, clearing the closet of all the baggage and stuff for about a year or a bit more than a year. A lot of our twins have only just very recently awoken, like last full moon, last new moon kind of thing. That's a matter of weeks, maybe a month. Okay. So we need to put that into perspective and spare a thought for the ones that we would do anything for, you know, like we've had so much time, they haven't had that much time. And it's like, I really feel like I'm being told, just be patient. You know, hold space for them. Love them from a distance. Send them oodles and oodles of your unconditional love energy on a daily, nightly basis. Go for it, because it can only make them feel more like there's something beautiful that they're working towards and that the end goal is achievable. Because if they're feeling isolated and detached and cut off and they have no idea if there's any love there at all, if you're not consciously sending that energy to them, it could make it a little bit of a rocky road for them in a sense, and they might sort of be like, oh, maybe she's moved on, she or he has moved on, maybe I completely blew it, maybe I should just, you know, cut my losses and go elsewhere, whatever. Yeah. Keep the connection alive from your own heart space, because you know how much it means to you. You know you're not going to walk away from it. Even if you wanted to walk away from it, you can't walk away from it. You know, I think all of us realize that by now. But yeah, our challenges and obstacles is union itself, you know, to come together in the eyes of the creator, the universe, angels, whatever. Our path is divinely guided and it's divinely protected. And that's the most beautiful card to sort of go, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. We know this. Tell us something we don't know. But in our worries and desires, we have King of Cups. So it's like we literally are waiting for the Knight of Cups to graduate into King of Cups status. And, of course, King is much better than Knight. Knight is an immature male energy still, you know, probably a bit more testosterone filled and a lot more reactive than calculating. Not calculating is the wrong word. That sounds like they plan and manipulate. That's not what I'm trying to get at. It's more the sense that they've done a lot of inner reflection and self-evaluation and realized how they've contributed to everything that's happened to their life, whether it was good, bad, or ugly. How they've created their own karma. So they have these repetitive, horrendous karmic relationships that always end up completely like ripping their heart out and putting about 50 knives in it and then sticking it in their face and going, there you go, baby. It's a horrible thing, but we've all done it. You know, Divine Feminines have also had karmic partners that do pretty similar things. You know, I've had narcissists that I had to handle in my life and heal from that and revive my own self-worth and my self-love and all of that after having been through a narcissist that makes you think that everything is your fault and that you do something wrong for them to act like a real piece of crap, which is the biggest load of crock in the world, and we know this. However, I had to, process it, do my lefts, rights, swerves, whatever, go off path for a while, sort of get the shits with it all and be like, I'm done with this. Fuck it. I quit. And then next morning you wake up and you're just like, oh, I miss him. I love him. And then you're like, can somebody slap me now? Because what was I saying yesterday and what am I doing now? I know multiple twins that are like that. Like, you'll have your days where you're just like, throwing towel in, don't want to know, don't care. Tired of waiting, tired of all this hard work, blah, 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 it's not achieving anything. We can't see any progress or any change on the physical level, but energetically, I feel so much is changing. It's not funny. Like, the telepathy, like the songs, clairaudient songs I'm getting, that song, it's basically got words saying, I just want to let you know that you're mine. And like, hello. A week ago, the clairaudient song I was getting is Anne-Marie's Friends. So like, we're just friends. Get that through your head. Don't think that it's going to be anything more than that. And then yesterday I'm getting You're Mine. It's like, okay, things are happening. Okay, they're healing. They're doing stuff. Just because we can't see it in the physical doesn't mean it's not happening. Like, I have complete faith in that, and I really hope that you guys do too. All right, so getting on with it. Recent past, we've got the Age of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So I really do feel like a lot of the twins, they're not in communication and in separation. Some of them have had some communication. Maybe you haven't checked your emails. Maybe it's on WhatsApp or some sort of app, like program or something like that you haven't actually accessed it. For some reason, that's saying that that's a message from me. I'm pretty good with my emails. I check them all the time, but I'm getting a feeling I'm going to be checking them when I get off here, just in case. And also, some of our twins have contacted us on a very superficial level, just almost like a booty call, and like checking things out and very cash, but actions speak louder than words. If they're spending time with you, if they're, curious about what's going on with you, if they want to discuss the twin flame journey and the process, all of that with you, it's a sign that they have opened up their consciousness and their heart so much more to the possibility of the whole thing. A lot of twins would be like, twin? Stuff you. I'm an individual. I'm not, linked to anybody. I'm my own person. That is very much the asleep denial thing. But when you've got another ones, it's like, I just want to relive the good times without the complications of all the spiritual and emotional deep stuff. Fair enough. Divine feminines are emotional. We're all about the love and the connection and da-da-da. For them, it's kind of like, you're making my sacral stir. Let's do this. It's a lot more straightforward. But the thing is, I think divine masculines are also realizing that that's a form of love being expressed through them, just because they feel it in a different sort of area, and it, happens to make them automatically think about getting into the bedroom. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing or a superficial thing. Like, it's their way of expressing love. Like, yeah. I don't know if there are people out there that can't sleep with somebody that they're not in love with. And I think that's beautiful and amazing and very special. And I respect that. But once upon a time, I was one of those people that it was just a physical thing. I was very much in my masculine. It was a physical thing, and I needed my requirements. And if I didn't have them every 4 months, at least at 4 months, I'd go crazy. And it'd just be like, I don't care. I just need my physical release. Yeah, that was it. I used to be that person. I had my Kundalini awakening, and it's like, no one but him. Can't even think about anybody. Can't waste my time on anybody else, because just the thought of getting that close to another person is like too much. But if it was him, it's like, yeah, in a heartbeat, happily there, because there's that resonance of the soul energy that you know so well and you feel on such a deep level, and you just, I don't even have to explain it. Why am I trying to explain it to twins? So, in our hopes, dreams, and best possible outcome, we have the devil and the wheel of fortune. So, the wheel of fortune is turning, my lovelies, and it is pretty much turning to the point where we're needing to re-examine our reasons for wanting union, our reasons for wanting to come back together. You know, if you're wanting your twin back in your life because, financially it would be better if you had two incomes together and so you can have an existence. Wrong answer. That's the codependency shit that we need to let go of. And it's kind of hard because it is the old paradigm, but it's been the natural sort of way of functioning, way of thinking, way of behaving, throughout most of our lives. We feel like there's got to be some sort of way of financing and supporting the existence that we want, but we don't realize how powerful we are at manifesting, and how easily, if we just watch our thoughts and control the kind of thoughts that are actually going in your head, and seriously, once you start becoming aware of it, you kind of get stunned that you think some pretty pessimistic and negative doom and gloom kind of things. And like, I find myself at least 2-3 times every day just going, angels, no, I take that back. I do not want that thought to be manifested into my reality, because it's a worst case scenario. It's a very pessimistic doom and gloom view, and I don't want that to actually become my reality and actually come into my life, because I wasn't actually that aware that my thoughts were going down that road. Even if you generally have a very high vibration and things like that, it's really easy for the ego mind to creep in and start messing with you and start putting doubts and fears and reservations in there that will like eat away at you and slowly come through the barrier of your high vibration and positive thinking. So really controlling your thoughts so that you can release any codependency. If you want your twin back in your life because it's going to give you something that you're not able to give yourself, or put you in a place or a status or a financial bracket that you're not able to achieve yourself, it's like that's one of our blocks. Like, we're creating a block if that is the reason why we want them back. So we really do have to dig deep and release all of the things that tie us to the old paradigm, the old way of thinking. A man doesn't have to support a woman. A woman can support herself and be perfectly content, single, happy, prosperous by herself. There are so many women out there running multiple businesses and very successfully. Why can't we all do it? We're all capable of doing it. We just need to align our energies the right way and manifest it. Because this is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. The thing I love about Wheel of Fortune is the fact that all the 4 figures from the zodiac, they're studying. That's exactly how I feel like I am at the moment on this journey. It's like we're constantly learning. We're constantly learning how to adapt to the energies. We're constantly learning how to sort of pick up on little lumps in the surface of the carpet, in a sense. Like, there's little things, like we've been smoothing a lot out. We've been working on our inner child. We've been healing so many things, but nothing is perfect in this third dimensional world. So how can you expect all the healing, all the flattening out of the carpet to have actually been achieved, when you know that even on a daily basis you can have interactions with people that will hurt you and that will create another lump in that carpet that will need to be addressed and healed. So isochronic tones, meditation, affirmations. Some of the favorite affirmations that I have, that I say on a daily basis, is I am love, I am loving, I am loved, I am worthy of commitment, I am worthy of infinite love and connection, like a soul connection. I also say I am one with all that is, and I also give my higher self permission to step in and take the driver's seat with me on a daily basis by saying I surrender to my higher self for my highest good. And funny I'm saying that right now because to me, the high priestess is someone that's embodying her higher self. She's very, very, very spiritual and she can manifest like a magician. Yeah. Once again, the moon is coming in. This is getting done on the night. It's like 2 a.m. on the 30th for me in Sydney. And the full moon was out earlier, but it was hiding behind clouds because it's been raining like cats and dogs over here. So, very much signifying to me that this full moon is a turning point and it's triggering things in our twins and ourselves that are bringing out like the wants and the desires of our higher self. Also, our sort of true heart's wishes, if you know what I mean. Like, there's certain things that you might really, really, really want, and it's a huge emotional thing to you. It would be a beautiful thing if you had it in your life, but because your external circumstances don't look the way you thought they should for you to be able to attain that, you sort of put that in the back burner and you sort of make it less of a priority. But you know that it's something that absolutely makes your heart sing, and it's something that you would be infinitely, constantly grateful for if you were able to have that. And, your life would be full of so much more love, but you sort of deny it. You deny your own soul and heart's truth because you feel like the world around you is not, in the right equation factor to be able to create that for you. We can't do that. We have to stand in our authenticity and own who we are. For me, I actually had this epiphany the other night. Is that once upon a time, like since I was 18, I've wanted to have a kid, but I never wanted to do it with the wrong person. I don't want that whole thing of not thinking through who I'm reproducing with and then having a kid that's sort of stuck between two families. I know plenty of people that are in that situation, and these kids are infinitely loved. So it shows how the old paradigm programming was affecting me. But at the same time, for many, many years there, the people that were closest to me had no idea that one of the most important things to me in this world was to be a parent. That, I would have accepted it if I end up like 50, 60 and I haven't had a kid, and I just go, yeah, that's divine plan, that's divine wisdom, I accept, that's fine. I have a niece and nephew, I'll make do with it. Right? But when the people that are closest to you don't even know that the one thing that you really, really, really want in your life, and it being something like being a parent or getting married or whatever it may be, and something sentimental and emotional value, yeah? Like when you're hiding that part of yourself from the people that you're surrounded with and the people that you spend most of your time with, you're denying yourself. You're denying your own truth. You're denying your own happiness. So honestly, this moon is going to bring out our authentic, highest divine being, higher self, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to come into energetic union, that's for sure. Because this card to me is about a celebration of the divine with the twins, right? Masculine, feminine, and creator, divine, universe, whatever you want to call it. And that is in our immediate future or next steps. So beautiful, beautiful so far, yeah? But how we're approaching the situation, we are only seeing the love that we have lost, and we're being kind of tight with our coins, funds, whatever. When you live on small amounts of money, it kind of comes with the territory where you are careful about how much you spend because you don't have too much to spend. But don't be doing it to your own detriment. Take care of your needs. If you need to get a haircut, if you need moisturizer, if you need whatever, like take care of your actual needs, but don't get too carried away with the hanging on to your money, because a lot of us are either too busy mourning the lost love to see what love we do have from our divine team, from God, from our families, friends, everybody. And others of us are just being really, really stingy or miserly with our money. And fair enough, saving up for a rainy day, I get that. Making sure that if anything, emergencies come up, you've saved a bit of money so that you've got that taken care of. I totally get that. I respect that. Never been able to save myself, but I respect it. Okay. So how we're approaching the situation, it's kind of like we're just not getting it. Like there are things going on energetically, things are shifting and changing. And my clairaudience, the shift of the clairaudience songs that I've had in the last week have hit that home big time. Because also today there was a Shawn Mendes song that I got clairaudiently, and it's like something about in my blood, saying, medicine is strong enough. Like, the state that they're in right now, they're having their phoenix moment. It's like the old paradigm, divine masculine, has died, and they're being reborn into the new paradigm, divine masculine. And that's going to be quite a transformation. Okay, they're going to be very different people to what they were when we knew them last, especially for those of us who are in no communication, no contact at all. So yeah, I'm actually really, really excited to get to know the new, improved, more authentic twin, because he's going to be 10 times more interesting and amazing than the old paradigm twin. Yeah, I know I'm completely different. Even the way I approach my friendships, family relationships, things like that. Oh, sorry, itchy nose. I've shifted in everything. So imagine how much they would have shifted as well. If we're so different, they're going to be completely different as well. And it's just going to be an absolute adventure and a field day to be getting to know them on this new sort of energetic level. And like, I'm pretty sure I've said it before, don't let the 3D illusion world around you fool you. Shifts are definitely happening. Okay, because in our environment, we've got the moon card. Once again, reconfirming this full moon is going to be pivotal. But in our environment, we're still feeling a bit of heartbreak. Maybe it's because, so many people have come into union. And comparison is the biggest destroyer of happiness. Don't compare yourself to another person. And I could easily get down on my situation and be like, but half the twins I know have either had contact with their twin, or they've at least had pleasant exchanges of conversation and things like that. Like, you know what, I've probably got that much more baggage still to get through, and I know my twin has a shitload more baggage than I ever did. So I'm accepting of that, and I'm letting him do his thing, because I don't want the same old twin, the narcissist that half destroyed me. I don't want that nastiness. I don't want that negativity. I don't want the old him. As simple as that. So in our environment, we have a lot that is unseen, and this full moon might actually shed some light on it. In dream space, in visions and downloads and things like that. Like, I've had a few epiphanies where I'm just like realizing so much stuff, and things are just falling into place. It's like, I've never thought like this before. And then a thought will pop into my head, and then I'll answer it myself with this deeply profound spiritual response where I'm just like, wow, where did that come from? So really, like, just hang in there, guys, because one thing I love about this card, right, it's got those little yellow things called FODs, and it's all about growth. And growth is not always easy. It can be painful. It can be gut-wrenching. It can make you feel like your whole life has been turned upside down. So spare a thought for your counterpart, because we're not seeing all the facts, but they're living all the facts that we're not seeing. And I do believe that it is for our own protection that we're not seeing those things. Because if we saw them suffering and going through some emotional upheaval and feeling really down on themselves and having a rough time, would we not be compelled to or want to cuddle and console them and make them feel better and give them all these tools and meditations and healings and whatever else that we've found that has helped us on our way? But it's not our place to baby them, and not our place to sort of give them a little breadcrumb trail to follow. That's the divine creator source universe's job. So we need to accept that we need to sort of step back and just be like, no, you got your journey, I had my journey. When you're ready, it's going to happen. Because the funny thing is, like, the last few cards, hopes and fears, got the Ace of Pentacles, and we've got the Two of Swords. So it's like, Ace of Pentacles has got to be a hope. Divinely gifted inspiration of something that's going to bring in your coins and new business idea, new hobby that you might be able to turn into an income, something like that. But then worries, the indecision. Maybe we're worried about the indecision that our twin has been having. Twin that's not able to step forward and extend their hand of friendship even, or make any contact. And it's kind of like, hang on, I've shifted so much, I've evolved so much. What is your problem, man? Like, I know you can feel it energetically. I know you're happy and pleased for my progress and all of that stuff, but show me in 3D. Like, it really sucks to be us sometimes. I feel that. But, like, once again, with the Two of Swords, you've got the moon there. You've also got a lot of water in the background. So there's a lot of emotional stuff that needs to be processed and healed on both sides. Like, being left out in the cold for so long, it's not going to cause some emotional stuff for us. But when we get to a point of, peak self-love attainment, that's really not going to matter to us, is it? So really, let's try not to be upset or frustrated with our twins for not making decisions, because maybe they're not evolved enough or healed enough to be able to make a decision without freaking out about how it's going to work out. Old paradigm way of thinking is like, we plan, we start building expectations, we do not go with the flow, we do not allow divine wisdom to guide everything and divine timing to dictate what happens. We like to have control over things. We like to know what's going on, which way a person is going, whether they're going to choose to come back to us, whether they're not. We can't have that. Literally, all the things that we sort of crave and really, really, really want, we can't have. But Ace of Pentacles being in the hopes and fears position as well, like, there's a gift from the divine that's coming in some way, shape, or form, and it's going to make our financial abundance, or at least our 3D existence, a little bit easier. I know personally, I've been working on manifesting an income as being a full-time student. Kind of tricky. And so far, it's been off to a slowish start, but I've seen some progress. So this really does speak to me personally, because it's like, I've been working on my manifestation and I've seen little bits of progress in that. Now, in next week, the universe, God, source, the divine, is actually going to step up and meet us halfway and give us a little helping hand in our manifestation and make our goals, our financial or prosperity goals, a little bit closer within arm's reach for us. Definitely. Like, literally, there's a hand coming from the clouds and it's giving it to us. It is actually autumn here in Sydney right now, and this card actually does represent autumn. So the fact that a lot of these cards have depicted the moon, and it is a full moon tonight. It's one of the most powerful full moons this year. It's very emotional and very transformative. Full moon in Scorpio brings up all the stuff that no longer serves you, all the old paradigm programming stuff that's only going to keep you down. It's time to say bye-bye and let it go. If it's not in keeping with where the world is heading and the 5D existence and being in the higher realms, why would you waste your time with it? Why would you hold on to it? I know it can be a bit of programming and force of habit in a sense, that we do those things. But the good news in our final outcome, we are running around on the battlefield collecting all our medals and trophies after everybody else has wiped themselves out, because we got staying power and we are tough. Okay? And we're also going to manifest at a monumental rate. I haven't had this come out as a final outcome in a while in a card, and even my own existence in the last few weeks is really speaking of this. Okay? We are becoming master manifestors. So overall, this reading is kind of telling me that, yeah, you guys can't see the shifts or the changes, but things are happening in the background. Just hang in there, have faith. It's all happening, and not to worry, because we will have the Wheel of Fortune turning in our favor sooner or later. And for those of us who haven't had any communication with our twin, having the Eight of Wands there as a recent past thing, it's almost as if some of our twins have wanted to reach out, but they haven't, which is fair enough. I understand fearing the reconnection. Like, I know personally what happened with my twin and myself, even as early as January. I do not blame him for being nervous or a bit double-minded about reaching out to me because of what he last said to me and how harsh it was. You know, when you're so dismissive and so you don't exist, I don't care, you'll never exist kind of thing. I'm not going to get into the details, but something along those lines. How would you come back to that person and be like, oh, but I finally realized that you actually have a major significance in my life, and I do want to have you in my life, and I do want to connect with you again, and I do want to build this bridge again, and, you know, have some sort of pleasant or civil interaction with you. Like, even I'm like, okay, I'm good at making amends and apologizing when I've done the wrong thing. I know how to humble myself and be like, okay, you know, I was wrong. I reacted wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect. And I can own that. But a fire sign? That's going to be a lot harder. Earth signs, you know, we kind of realize we're a bit slow off the mark, so we may ruffle feathers and we may upset people once in a while, so we can own that. We can accept it. We can, you know, eat some humble pie and try. You know, put a little, olive branch out in the hope that they'll grab on and things might happen. But all my olive branches lately have had crickets singing with them. That's about it. Nothing else. So I'm not letting that dishearten me. I'm not letting it derail me. I know it'll happen at some stage. And I know my guides have sort of tried to warn me that it could take up to a year from now before my twin is ready to come back. And only this last week have I had the inner strength to actually ask that question, because I know when I've done my cards, especially the angel answers cards, there is a card in there that says a year from now, and it's come out a few times. And before I told my guides that I wanted the truth, even if it hurt me, as long as I get the truth, I'll be happy. They used to say, no, that card's not for you. So the other day I asked Archangel Michael, is that card's come out a few times, was it really for me? And are you trying to say that it could be up to a year from now that it will take for my twin to reconnect with me? And I got a yes. Like, once again, careful what you wish for, careful what you ask. You may not like the answer, but at the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm still building my self-love, my money, my future, whatever. I'm studying for 3 years, so 1 year is not that bad. It's alright. And I've been single for over a year. I'm still doing fine. In fact, I'm doing fantastically, considering the kind of person I used to be before I met him, and before I had my Kundalini awakening. I would not have enjoyed this run. Okay, so we do have a couple of cards, but I'll just double check. And this is Wisdom of the Oracle that I pulled. Am I gone? Are both of these for the twin flame read? Alright, so from Wisdom of the Oracle, we've got chop wood, taking care of the minor things in life, doing your laundry, doing your chores, all the things that are required of you to make your everyday life go round. As you can tell, I've had this a few times. I do know the meaning. And go the distance, having staying power, staying faithful to your path and your journey, and knowing that the finishing line is just over the horizon. It's there. You just gotta hang in there for a bit longer and you'll be okay. So, chop wood. It says, being grounded in everyday experience and humility. So there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goals brings you in a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you even closer to what you seek. And of course, because this is a twin flame reading, I have to read the relationship message. Nothing is as important right now as just doing what you need to do day to day. Let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard-won, passionate, or even obviously meaningful. Relationships and friendships go through lulls when the everyday tasks are at the center of awareness. That is perfect now. Hold hands, wash dishes, make a fire, read a book, share a meal, say nothing, stare into space, pick up socks, tell a dumb joke, and leave space to breathe. The work of the relationship right now is very simple. Just be present. Funny how it takes work to just be. All is well, really. There's our reassurance. Yes. And I'm one of those really annoying people that's kind of like, but, that's not very reassuring. I kind of grew up out of that recently. Anyway, the other card, which is actually a beautiful card as well. I don't know if you can see that. Let's go the distance. And it's number 47. So we've got 42 and 47. Go the distance says, endurance, strength, the long haul. So the oracle message is, to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear occasional obstacles. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. That's the best line. Union is not going to be withheld from you, even if it's delayed. Even if, both parties have a lot more work to do and a lot more shifting to do. So be it. We can't speed up divine timing. We can't put expectations or demands on the universe, because that doesn't get us anywhere. It'll just make us disappointed. Anyway, to finish this off, I shall read the relationship message for Go the Distance. It says, you either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you're being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? Poetic. All right. Unintentionally, my readings have gone excessively long this time around, so I do apologize. It can be a bit drawn out and long, but that is all from me this week. So I hope you all have a very beautiful and transformative full moon. Make the most of it. do little manifesting rituals and releasing rituals. Let go of whatever doesn't belong in your life. And I will see you guys again soon. Take care.